Hello and good day, Mike Adcock here with some hurricane climatology. For those of you that have been following along on Twitter or Facebook, some of the message boards out there, National Hurricane Center's ATCF, this is their automated tropical cyclone file, where they update best tracks for tropical cyclones and disturbances throughout the respective basins. Well, at 12 Zulu, they updated the information on Tropical Depression 4. Now, why this is important is this file is updated periodically throughout the day, specifically at 0, 6, 12, and 18 Zulu. That's typically our midway point between advisories, considering those are issued at 3, 9, 15, and 21 Zulu. Meteorologists utilize this information kind of as it's a good update to the position. You know, like I said, instead of having to wait 6 hours for plots, you know, we're getting data now every 3 hours, supplementing this ATCF data. But also we can kind of get an idea. It's not a set in stone rule, but it gives us an indication of what to expect in the next advisory package. In this particular case, we see, okay, in this column is our wind speed, 35 knots, Tropical Storm Dorian. So barring anything crazy, chances are the next advisory, which will come out at 15 Zulu, would upgrade Depression 4 into Tropical Storm Dorian. Now, it's not a complete, you know, surefire thing. I've seen times where, you know, we'll see the upgrade in the ATCF, and then, you know, some sort of information comes along, be it reconnaissance data, satellite data, something that convinces the forecaster to not make the upgrade and to maintain status quo. So unofficially upgraded to Tropical Storm Dorian. We'll have to wait till the 15 Zulu advisory suite comes out. But I do want to do some quick stats on this hurricane season based on climatology. Tropical Storm Dorian would be the 4th named storm of the 2013 season. That puts us quite a bit ahead of normal. Matter of fact, for July 24th, we should be about 1.5 named storms. Right now, being at 4, that places us about 2.5 above. So slightly under 2 standard deviations above mean. So in English, that places us about the 95th percentile, or 2013 is outperforming, if you want to call it that, 95% of all other tropical cyclone seasons. Typically we don't get to the D name until about August 24th, so we're a full month ahead of that. Now the interesting thing about the name Dorian, this is the first time we've used it in the Atlantic Basin. Dorian is a replacement name from the 2007 list where we had Hurricane Dean. Just to quickly recap on Hurricane Dean. Hurricane Dean, 150 knot winds, 905 hectopascal for its minimum pressure, causing about 40 direct deaths and $1.66 billion worth of damage. Hurricane Dean was the 3rd most intense landfalling hurricane in the Atlantic Basin, trailing the 1935 Labor Day storm as well as Hurricane Gilbert back in 1988. A very, very strong storm, affecting parts or a majority of the Greater and Lesser Antilles as well as Mexico and Belize. Another little fact to toss out about the season, though, I mean, although we are very, very ahead of normal, it's still very early in the season. A lot can change. Granted, the forecasts are forecasting, you know, above normal seasons, but to get, you know, we're not talking hyperactive seasons right yet. We've only reached about 9% of our net tropical cyclone activity as opposed to normal. In terms of activity in a season, we're about 14% of the way through hurricane season. So still very, very early on. Applying a statistical model to it, it would say this year would rival 2005, if you remember that record-breaking season. Am I saying that's going to be the case? Absolutely not. At this point last year, we were far ahead of normal, breaking records even, and we just didn't even get into the Greek alphabet, and so I don't think that's going to be the case at all this year. There's going to be some slowdowns. We're going to apply back to climatology, so it's still way too early to freak out about getting through through the alphabet too quickly. Matter of fact, the first 4 named storms of the season, we haven't even broke the top 5 in terms of earliest formation dates. Matter of fact, the 5th earliest D-named storm, I believe, formed like July 13th. So not even breaking into hyperactivity, but still above average is very, very likely. And just quickly recap how we've gone throughout the season. Still showing the accelerator being pushed down in terms of how far above normal we are. But of course, to maintain this pace throughout the season, it's going to be very difficult. So we should see a slowdown or a return to climatology as we approach the peak season, as we get into like late August into early September. Appreciate your time. Have a great day and take care.